Hello my friends, it's episode 10. Let's go speak to that dude and then we'll go and do the serial killings mission, because why not? I have scrolls on my butt. I was like, what the hell? Okay. No time for it now, I have other business to attend to. Oh no, it's this guy here. A town balding dwarf in a cheap suit turns to face you. Light glints from heavy gold chains that hang around his neck. When he speaks, the voice that greets your ears is high and nasal, like it has been contorted into a rough approximation of a New York accent. Okay. Pleased to meet you. Cheng was kind enough to arrange this little sit-down between us. He extends a slab-like hand for you to shake. You can call me Dr. Shen Yang. It's always good to meet a paying client. His grip is as soft as his palm is moist. It's like shaking hands with a boneless ham. You share a long, uncomfortably flaccid handshake before he finally releases you. I'm looking for a little outside help for a problem I've been having. Ordinarily, I'd handle it myself or have some of my friends see to it, but it's kind of delicate, you know. My guys be noticed before they made any headway on the problem, so I figure, hey, I hire contractors all the time, might as well get some contractors of a different stripe. As long as you're paying, I'm in. I run a little film studio, Southern Crown Films. We mostly do trid work, sorry. We record some Sims too. Maybe you've seen some of my stuff. Space Mongols from the Moon, Flavor of the Pomegranates, Ultimate Kill Squad. Can't say I've had the pleasure. Ah, too bad. We'll send some over to Cheng so you can take a look. Anyway, this other guy in the industry, and we've been butting heads since day one. Name's Neville Ma. He runs Yellow Springs Studios. No matter what I do, I can't shut him out of the biz. He always manages to get one over me, steal my stars. He's been running me into the ground with his show called Promises in the Moonlight. Stars a girl named Penelope Wong. New talent, the viewers have been going nuts over her. She's the show's linchpin. Hang on, I'm getting there. About 6 months ago, Neville was out in Guangzhou for some hoity-toity party. He's on the road, probably drunk. Semi comes out of nowhere and pow, wrecks his fancy new Eurocar Westwind. Bad luck for Neville, good luck for me. I figure, hey, that's the end of him for the year. I can start playing some new stuff while he can't compete from inside the hospital. You follow me so far? Let me guess, he found a way to compete with you from the hospital. No worse. The bastard's out of the hospital. He's back in the game, bringing out Season 2 of Promises in the Moonlight. I need that show off the air one way or another, and that, my friend, is where you come in. Already? That's strange. Tell me about it. He should have been in that hospital for at least 3 months, and physical therapy a lot longer. Oh, it took him a week to get out. Couldn't freaking believe it. Kind of medical care costs top dollar. He's got a lot of money, but not that much. Recovery time like that means one of two things going on. Neville could have found himself a silent partner, someone who's willing to pay top dollar for cutting-edge care. I don't think that's likely, but it could have happened. If it ain't that, smart money says that he's been skimming off the top of Yellow Springs' earnings and not reporting it to other shareholders. And you want me to look into that, I take it? I need you to go get me something to blackmail Neville with. Find out how he could afford to get out of the hospital so fast. He works out of his penthouse most days, so search his computer, closet, sock drawer, whatever. There's got to be something incriminating in there. Where's this penthouse? Neville lives in the Repulse Bay. It's a real swanky joint in the south end of Hong Kong Island. By the bay with the same name. I haven't been able to get anybody to poke around in his apartment because security's too tight. Luckily for you, Neville's throwing a party on the Mizian level. With all the shops and restaurant and balcony and such, he's celebrating second season launch of his show and everybody's going to be there. Gonna make a real snarl for building security. You might want to hit up the party if you can bluff your way in. Everyone close to Neville will be there, and most of them will be 3 sheets to the wind by the time you get there. Some discreet questioning might get me the dirt I need. Remember, if you go to the party, don't use your real name. Go with Argyle. Should be safe enough. Nobody in the biz out here with that name, so nobody will ask any questions about how your work's going. Couldn't you just make a better show? Let's not say that. Oh yeah, Cheng talked you up when I approached with the job. Given what she told me, this job should be cake. Now, the blackmail material is what I need more than anything, but if you can get Penelope Wong out of her contract, I'll pay you extra. Got it? Want that star power on my side. One last thing, I don't want you starting a scene while you're there. You interrupt his party, make a mess, or trash his apartment, and I'm not paying you. You clear on that? Why the concern? If you're going to hamstring me before I even go on the run, I want to know why. Because it's gauche. I can't have Ma knowing I'm after him. In my business, everybody's got dirty tricks, but if you make it public, you're using them. Shenyang draws a finger across his throat. That's it. My career's as good as dead in the People's Republic of China, so nobody will work for or with me ever again, so don't embarrass me, okay? No mess, no guns. Got it. You can pack heat, just don't kill anybody at the party or in Ma's apartment. You gotta fight, find somewhere else to do it. Security gets on you, do what you gotta. I'd rather explain a few bullet holes than a pile of dead Shadowrunners. Got me? Got it. If you pull this off, I recommend you to all my friends too. Don't seem like you deal with Shadowrunners much. Shadowrunners, Moonlight Prancers, who gives a crap? I've got money and a job and I don't care who does it as long as the price is right. What's more, I got a lot of friends around town, a lot of them run your circles too. Alright, let's do it. Good man, that's what I like to hear. When you're done, drop Chang a line. I'll come meet you back here and hand over the money. Didn't he say he had a thing for me? Maximum Law surveys Doc's beef is meticulously patched tarpaulin. Goggled and belted with electronics, his arms folded, his expression stern, sweat-drenched little king, his boat rocks gently. Got a minute? What's up? Kinley had Wampa burn your sin. Where is you doing work for her? Not normal Yellow Lotus stuff. Shadowrunning. Maybe, maybe not. What about it? Well, I get it. Well, I didn't hear anything about it. Listen, if you've got info about runs, I can make it worth something. My opponents call this kind of thing metadata. Wampa likes to get the word on the street from the active operators. Worth something? Credits, yeah, I can hook you up with something. Maybe creds, maybe sweet programs. But really, you'll gain a face with Wampa. That counts for a lot more than money. Law looks out through the rain. Across the rocking boats, he wipes his foggy goggle lenses with a rag from his pocket. His stomach gurgles loudly. Augmented reality goggles aside, the gig gets really boring sometimes. You ever want to talk shop, I'm here. If I remember correctly, you could only give metadata to him like once and then he gets beaten up. So, some people hoard metadata and then they all give it to him in one big batch because I think you get a lot of extra money. I already handed over a little bit of metadata to the Shadowland BBS just because I needed some money to get going. Where's the job about the serial killer? Did I not accept that one? It's just because that's like an early one. Okay, got it. Got it. I may consider starting to grab some intelligence points. Just so I've got more choices in spell casting. But for now, I'm happy to just power up. Go to Wampur Garden to discover who's killing the elders. Alright, now I have a rigger, a decker, and a shaman. He's kind of guns only, so... I don't find him that useful. I'm drinking banana mokguli in case anyone's wondering. It's a Korean speciality. Wampur Garden, the carnival of chrome and neon. Rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steam buns and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Wamponian elders, the leaders of a band of tech-savvy squatters who have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Wamponians you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While a killer has only struck at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. Okay. This is officially junk now. I suppose Gobbet can use it. Can't change their armor. Can't really change their weapons. All you can do is give them items. Okay, that's my spare. In case of emergency, break glass. Fetish. The streets of Wampur Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting a white apartment blocks with sickly orange sodium streetlights. The smell of grilling meat mingles with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Not that I know of. This place seemed like heaven after the walled city. Like the world had unfurled in front of me, and anywhere I turned there was premise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. Gobbet claps a hand on Isabel's shoulder, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson, Liz. I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. Got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Curious philosophy, Gobbet. Certainly no objective meaning can be applied to the human experience, but the sum total of culture and progress since the time of Homo erectus has shown that humans are capable of self-organizing into beneficial... Boring. Gobbet makes a show of yawning very loudly towards Rector. Looking for the Wamponian elders. They're going to be in the Wampur itself. That's the big ship down the street. That's the mall shaped like a boat. That's the one. Somebody thought it'd be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. Let's go. Let's not start by going the right way. Let's start by having a snoop around. That is one impressive drone. Okay, there was literally nothing to do in this huge area. At least not yet. The Orc Woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny TRID screens and speakers. TRID screens display snippets of TRID broadcasts from every corner of the world. Tiny speakers play counterpoint with the susurrus of voices speaking Spirithrial, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome to the One Power, my friend. I am Elder Nig. I'm going to presume that's how that's pronounced. NG. Hopefully that doesn't trip any YouTube things. Maybe I'll just call her NG instead of how that's pronounced. Just for safety. And these are the elders Tang and Ip. She gestures to the elf and human who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We have nowhere else to turn. As long as you can pay, I can help. In Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move to dragons. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. You noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state. Operating temperature, servo pressure, and a variety of other minutiae. He looks past you towards Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the One Power in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yatunde was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. It pauses, tasting the air as he chooses his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. I didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places, though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places her hand on her pistol. Her eyes train on Ip's shoes. I don't cart around this for fun. Ip, lessons kept me alive. Isabel blinks several times and looks up at NG, her expression clouded. Where is Yetunde anyway? I expected her to be here. NG shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand towards Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Jen and Nakamura. And Tong was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. What can you tell me about the murders? It started 2 weeks ago. The first was Gan. I found him in his apartment, eviscerated. He'd been torn apart, his head been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered, each scene like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything like a ghost. What happened to Tong? Same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, evisceration and dismemberment. Sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight, locked up in his shop. Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill caps he had. The door was unlocked, and inside looked like a bad horror sim, like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop open, and I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. I didn't call the police. The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They tried to force us out several times before, or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favours for local gangs and triads, and handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowland hub. Too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. Handle our physical security, make sure we send the message via the Matrix. The last time HKPF made trouble, we started airing the Assistant Chief's dirty laundry over the TRID. They got the picture and backed off. Made any enemies lately? Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We are not mercenaries or criminals. We are merchants and deckers. Even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whoever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, NG. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What do my opponent elders do? They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. We keep Whampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. Provide a guiding vision like a town council. I can respect that. Glad you understand. Community is fragile and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I am the evoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to people here. Heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habits is as good as it can be given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's got some kind of kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only spirits it's got in it are all the ASPs I load it up with. NG gives as well a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch any programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that. Bullshit. She glances at you, junking her thumb towards Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Is that right? Tang extends his arms, palms up. As you watch, tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I'm the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. Oh my god, it's 40k. It's 40k references. Praise the Omnisire. Rector, really? What a fascinating and spiritual spin on things. Interested in hearing more about your philosophy once we're done with the job. I think I may find your perspective to be very interesting. As for me, I serve the resplendent voltage spike. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. Oh, yes. 40k memes, just what I wanted. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if you've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Tong's Secured Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard things we have not. Porter Lammy, service the others told me you'd be coming. Tell me to tell you about what happened to Tong. Just the basics. Nothing's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten to death. Hell, I've seen a corpse that was so dry and desiccated I could have sworn a vampire got to it. But none of that has got anything on this. Brace yourself and go on in. Alright. Let's brace ourselves and go on in. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like the scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tongs littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order. At least at first glance, nothing is broken, tripped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. Blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognisable, and what is left of his body would be described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Wamponian elder. Wamponian's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing that's holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fibre optics of his cyberware. Goblin puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in uncharacteristically serious tones. Sweet heaven, Edmund, I haven't seen anything like this since Auntie Wong tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil rat's nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. Curious, the removal of skin speaks to a deliberate pathology, some manner of serial killer, but severed limbs seem to be much more savage. You'd have to be very strong to tear those off. Ractor gestures at the body impassively. Look, parts of him are missing, that's very curious. Have Ractor examine the body in detail. Ractor takes time examining the body, taking small notes in his PDA. Curious, no subdermal bruising where the skin's been removed. No sign of a struggle, coagulation of blood and lividity marks the time of death between 2 and 4 hours ago. Knife marks are methodical. Killer doesn't seem to have been interested in preserving the skin as any kind of whole, removed a bit like one fillets a fish. Path of least resistance. Some of the strips of skin have a more ragged edge than the others. The ragged edge looks consistent with claw rather than blade. Ractor makes a curious noise as he examines the remnants of Tong's face and neck. His neck has been severed at the 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. Scoring across the bone indicates a bladed weapon, and a sharp one at that. Doesn't match any of the other wounds. If I had to guess, I'd say he was killed with a blow to the back of the neck. Everything else was subsequent damage. Why would someone kill him and then skin him? Honestly, I have no idea. Perhaps whatever did the rest of the damage was secondary. An action of opportunity or the like. Without further information, I'm not comfortable guessing. You could take a deep breath and allow your senses to expand into astral space. The colours of the room bleed away, replaced with the vibrant lights and emotions of the spirit world. Surprisingly, no emotions of fear or anger pervade the room. The abiding emotion in the room is steeped in is one of perfunctory satisfaction, as if someone had accomplished an important task. It seemed likely that Tong was surprised. If he was not, he would be certain that you would feel lingering fear in the room. Whoa, really? Goet takes a moment to center herself and stares off into space. Shortly thereafter, she shakes her head and looks back at you. That's strange, Edmund. You're right, though. You definitely didn't see it coming. Walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which is hardened into a crusty, congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. These blood patterns aren't natural, Edmund. Their smearing here wasn't done by tongue. There's too much blood. The killer must have spread the blood across the walls deliberately. Why would they do that? Perhaps they're like many serial killers. They see their actions as a ritual or a work of art. And the victim's body was a medium in which they were working. Or maybe they're just crazy. I've seen a lot of crazy people in my life, but never seen anybody crazy enough to think they were going to make the Mona Lisa out of someone's teeth and guts. Thank the heavens for that, too. This is a Yamaha 95,000 V SimSynth, a device for mixing and mastering SimSense chips. Several drive bays are empty and all the chip jacks are empty. The screen flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try again. Isabel rattles out some commands on the SimSynth's keyboard, stepping away for a few seconds, look at dissatisfaction on her face. There, I put the drive warning on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only though. Maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. Memory OK. Disk drive error. Assist bus OK. Beginning core dump. Looks like Tong was cooking some BTLs here. He hacked the peak controller output cutoffs. The delta levels on the sim chips are usually 4 to 5. 6.5 for Cal Hots. His delta peaks are pushing 12. That's brain burning territory, Edmund. All the drives and chips those BTLs were stored on are missing. I never liked Tong, but it wasn't because he was a bad guy. I just didn't like any of the elders. But if he was cooking chips at delta 12, then maybe he burned somebody he shouldn't have. Maybe they flipped their lid and came after him, or a relative did. Metahuman brain can't handle this kind of output. It will shut down after a few of these. Tong's desk drawers are open. The safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering. The green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with the key fob. Inside are several blank cred sticks. No sign of any money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty cred sticks in his safe. Bathroom is immaculate, and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. Aha. Looks like someone went through Tong's things. Has anyone been inside? Not since I've been here, but before Ip found him, could have been anybody really. Ip had the key to his place, but the lock's total crap. Anybody half decent at cracking maglocks could have gotten inside. What's missing? BTLs, hard drives, cred sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted the place to me. All this talk of monsters. Yeah, sure, scary things go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps I hear are from handguns and gangers. Okay. Zippy! The orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and points towards you. Hey stranger, nice to see you. Zippy toe tag at your service. How are you liking one poor gun? Nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me to say hello and whatnot, but I've been interested in giving you a hand if I can. Zippy gestures expansively at the squalid neon-lit streets of Whampoa Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being. I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Jen and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you, I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away. You've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Very astute, that's right. So you have good eyes, a lot of good eyes actually. Actually, if you're in the market for replacements, I only have slightly used. Only slightly used, and they come from a certified donor, I swear. Hearty bell laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps one of his thighs in elation. Man, I'd kill myself. That was awful. I know I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but all my jokes are terrible. You're not a comedian, what are you? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here to keep the other Wimpones healthy. I've got to practice down the road. Blind Chen's a pretty good cyberdoc, but he's basically an implant specialist, and that's it. How'd you end up here? Did my residency back in UCAS. Could have become a real MD too if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. He opens his coat, revealing a cyberdeck. He pats it proudly. Also dick a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than IC. Wamper Garden seemed a pretty good fit for me. Must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to charge to cover my costs and eat, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbours in the community. We all look out for each other. If somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. That kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like us? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. There's a lot of places done my fair share of shadowrunning, but this place is special. It's been a long time since I felt anywhere was a real home. Zippy looks off past you towards the Wamper Garden streets. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with this city or these people. So is it fairly peaceful around here for the most part? Other than these killings, we don't have much by way of problems. We do have information security from the triads. That makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit them in the matrix, while our triad friends hit them in the meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured out they weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys. But with both the Red Dragon and Yellow Lotus, they get the message real quick, what was left of them anyway. Tell me about the garden. Sure thing, what do you want to know? What are your thoughts on the murders? Pretty gruesome business. Hand died from a broken neck, looked like someone wrenched it around. His arms and legs were cut off, skin flayed away too. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. Didn't look at Yetunde. What I saw at the distance, it was the same story. Didn't seem like much point since I've seen it twice already. As for Tong, for what Porter told me, it was Jen and Nakamura all over again. Take a look at him yet? It's the same as you described for the others. Damn, I like Tong. BTL business is unsavory, but man had to eat. His regular sims were great. Generally all around nice guy, friendly with everyone, never had anyone mad at him. There's no justice, let me tell you. What can you tell me about the elders? Well, they're an eclectic bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? NG's the spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the Wemponians, I guess. A lot of her close friends are more followers, since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Gotta love those 40k references. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never cold to me. Still, she makes a damn fine pot of tea. Ip's the muscle and has a encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and Bioware. Definitely a good guy to have watching your back. Not too friendly, but if you know how it is, you get a lot of cyber people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. Zippy makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got the moves straight out of Blood Carnival 3: The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. Is that spelt right? Not sure it is. What about Tang? Don't know much about him. I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him cooing over some trids of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones, has a shop called the Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of movement patterns or something. What do you know about Tong, Ran, Sims, BTL's skill chips? Jen used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Nakamura came from Fukuoka and was interested in entertainment, trade mostly. Spent a lot of time analysing subliminals in ads. And there was Magpie. She was the chief decker, hot as hell against IC, built her own hardware. A salty old woman though, never met anyone who was quite as shrill or nasty when she was mad. And she was mad most of the time. Wait, no one mentioned Magpie to me. When did she die? She didn't. Maybe a month ago she just up and disappeared. I went to her shop one day and it just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in the ass too. She owed me some new analyze software she'd picked up. I never heard of Magpie either. She must be one of the newer Wemponians. If she was a decker, she would have replaced Elder Go. No surprise there. Go was older than Quinn Shinkahungi's Terracotta Warriors. When I was learning decking from him, he could barely get out of bed. Still, fast as hell in the Matrix, though. Isabel rolls her eyes. It's a stupid name. It doesn't actually have much to do with time spent in the community. That was something to do with it, sure, but it's mostly about how skilled you are, how good your connections are, and how much you can help somebody else. Should have called them experts or something. Bingo, that's exactly it. She was only here for about 3 years, but she knew a lot of people all over the Matrix, in Shanghai and Beijing, all kinds of places. That plus her skill meant she was a good shoo-in when Gao died. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was here, the next poof. At first I thought she was on vacation, since she'd mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii one day, but it didn't feel right. She would at least have told me she was leaving. Seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, so probably because she pissed them all off so bad. A little odd for her to just disappear, don't you think? Of course it's odd. She owed me lunch too, and just thought we paid her debts promptly. You might want to check out her shop. It's all locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders. They wouldn't have any reason not to let you in. What did they argue about? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted for this neighbourhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, NG, Ip, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the private TRID business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there to this rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs her matrix skills for their business to run properly. There are other deckers, say me, say, or Joe, Genbi, but she had her infrastructure. If the project didn't interest her, she wouldn't give them the time of day. She's a real hard head about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot, if you ask me. Could you let me into her shop? No can do. Not because I don't want to, but because I just don't have the key. Better get it from Ip. He's taken over all the Matrix infrastructure maintenance since Magpie disappeared. He's not as good at it as she is, or I am, but they're not going to let anyone who isn't an elder take care of that kind of critical stuff. Looks like Tong was killed by a blade, not a broken neck or a bite. Zippy recoils, shuddering against the rain. What kind of blade? Knife, a sword, maybe an axe? Don't know, but he was attacked at the back of the neck. I don't like that at all. Zippy shivers, looking warily around. The whole affair's got me on edge. People dying is nothing new, but the flayed skin. Ah. It sounds possible that whoever's been killing elders is trying to muddy the waters with all the blood and gore business. This is the crime of an intelligent, careful killer. Be careful, the investigation might take you somewhere very unpleasant. Give me the key. Why didn't you tell me about Elder Magpie disappearing? Why would we have her? Departure from the Wamponians isn't related to investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just skulking off somewhere. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we welcome her back. Despite her problems with her behaviour, her skills make her extremely valuable. Taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but nowhere near her level. Best I can do is ensure nothing breaks until she returns. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have the key? Yes, there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community servers. We don't want to let anyone who's not one of the Wamponian elders in there. Why would you need to look around in there? Listen, you wanted me to find a killer. If I'm going to do that, I need to explore every possibility. Very well, take the key and look around. Just don't break anything or shut the servers off. Was there anything else? Nope. Rainbow. Okay, I see some people have appeared. I expect one per garden to have tailors in it. Most don't. There's a mistaken impression that we run ponies are only interested in technology and the Matrix. Even technologists need clothing, don't they? And many of us gravitate toward lines of work where added protection is required. I am myself a materials scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. What kinds of materials science? Fibre related, of course. Primarily armoured fibres, graphene composites, and dilettants. It affords me a certain unique perspective when designing clothing that's not only beautiful but defensive as well. Specialise in high fashion body armour, similar to the kind crafted by Securetech or Vashon Island, but with much more personal touch. And all of it weaker than what I have. Sad times. Okay, this seems like the perfect moment to stop as we are out of time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.